Start, TJ.
Welcome. Welcome and thank you everyone for joining today. I am TJ. For today's discussion, our objective is to decide how our group should respond after discovering the case's contribution contain copied material without proper citation. We should consider academic integrity, fairness, teamwork, and the potential consequences for every member. I request everyone to present their view respectfully and explain the reasoning behind their opinion. At the end, I'll summarize the discussion and our consensus, and I would like to uh, ask recommend to advisor to give their point of view and start the meeting.
Thank you, TJ. Hi, my name is Rishabh, and I'm the advisor of the group. So, yeah, in my opinion, TJ handled the situation responsibly. So, by first contracting Casey instead of immediate reporting him. So, however, plagiarism is a serious violation of academic integrity. So, my recommendation is that the group should educate Casey, ensure the current assignment is correctly corrected and redo properly, so introduce a peer review process for the future assignment, and only escalate to the professor if similar behavior continues. So this balance the fairness and accountability and the teamwork. So that's all from my side. So and yeah, TJ, continue.
Thank you so much for your point of views, and I would like to go with the team member A and want to know their point of view on this matter. Thank you.
So hello everyone. Thank you for giving opportunity. Thank you TJ. So I'm starting from the what is the good thing to TJ do. So first point ki detect plagiarism before submission. So protecting the group from possible academic penalties. Second point, verified the suspicious by checking the source rather than making assumption. So immediate contacted Casey and gave Casey an opportunity to correct the work, acted responsibility towards the group, recognized that all the member could be affected by the plagiarism. So consider the consequence carefully and instead of rushing to report Casey to the professor, demonstrate academic integrity by taking plagiarism seriously. And what is the Casey is doing? So Submitted said 3 point. He submitted work late and causing pressure on the team. So use material without and proper citation. So appeared to the copy and poorly peripheral content. So did not initially show awareness of the seriousness of plagiarism. So had a similar issue regarding this again and again. So not tolerated. So some point TJ actions कि emailing all the group members about Casey mistake maybe have embraced Casey publicly. So become emotionally upset which could affected objective decision making. So consider reporting Casey before fully explore education and correct their solution. Or some ethical issue involved first point, it is academic integrity. A student must submit original work and properly acknowledge source. Responsibility to the group. Every member has a duty to contribute honestly. Fairness. Other members should not suffer because one of the person misconducted. Accountability. Cases should take responsibility for the quality of his work. Loyalty and integrity. Protecting a teammate versus upholding academic standard. And one point last summarize my point of view. The most ethical course of the action is to give Casey a chance to learn from the mistake and correct the work, while making it clear that future plagiarism will be not be tolerated. This balance fairness, academic integrity, accountability, and teamwork. So this is my point of view, and go ahead to the next member.
Thank you for your point of view. And I'd, I'd like to go with point of. I'd like to know the point of view of team member B and their perspective about the team members A point of view.
So, good evening, everyone, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to express my views. As we discussed, like this included content from the internet without proper citation. So whether it happened intentionally or by mistake, it is still considered plagiarism, and the plagiarism is one of the most important academic issues because it shows the dishonesty and unfairness, and also it is the point of reputation of entire team. So I suggested that the student has responsibility to submit original work and acknowledge the source they use. So uh, I appreciate TJ for reviewing the report carefully for the before the final submission, and because of his attention, the issue was identified at the right time. So we can we giving the group a chance to fix it. So I also respect that the fact, like Casey admitted his mistake and apologized. So accepting a mistake shows responsibility. So I believe he should be given one fair opportunity to correct his work by rewriting and the copied content in his own words and with the proper citation. So submitting the correct version as soon as possible. So he will go through the content and review like ensure that the final report is original work or not. And at the same time, I think this situation also highlights a communication gap within the team. And if members regularly communicate with each other and discuss their progress, so and ask for help whenever they face difficulties, so many such problems can be avoided before the final submission. So I would also like to suggest a better workflow for future assignment. Like since we have 1 week to complete the task, so every member should submit their work by the fourth and the fifth day instead of waiting until the deadline. So this will give enough time for the team to review each other's work, to identify any mistake and improve overall the quality. And in my opinion, like good communication, teamwork, and the proper planning and time management are the key factors that help a team can avoid such situations. So however, giving someone a second chance also comes with a responsibility. If Casey does not take this opportunity seriously or submitted copied content again, that even after being given a fair chance, then informing the professor would be the right and responsible decision. So at that time, like protecting academic integrity and the interest of the entire group should be our priority, and it will include like I believe that our goal should not only be to complete the assignment, but also to learn important ethical values such as honesty and responsibility. So, and a respect for others' work and teamwork. So, these values will help us not only in our academic life, but also in our future careers. So, this is the my point of view, and thank you,
Thank you
TJ.
for your thoughtful point of view. And I would like to go with my team members, see and understand their point of view on this matter.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, TJ. I really appreciate the thought. And I really appreciate your work that you were able to recognize plagiarism issues within our report. I don't find that this is a very serious issue because it only contains 5% of the report, and we have a much bigger task, which is 20% coming up. And I also think that it would be an over exaggeration of considering that we will receive an F because 70% of the grade comes from our hard work and only 30% comes from the report. If we report Casey for this plagiarism issue, which you easily identified, we might face backlash from the team, and I think probably it might have been overlooked by the professors as well. So I don't think this is a serious issue, even though Casey should have been much more clearer with his efforts and much more hard work. He should have taken much more care about the report which he's submitting. But we also don't know his perspective, and we should give him a fair chance of understanding where he went wrong or was he facing any personal issues. I also find that there are communication gaps between the team, which I agree from both group member A and group member B. But definitely it can be worked upon. It's not like we cannot work upon it, but it is not a serious offense. I would like to highlight that it is not a very serious offense. We can have much more systems in place for whenever we submit group submissions from now on, so that whenever something like this happens, we each other take accountability for the same. and we are more careful of the reports. But if we put Casey in spotlight right now, it will cause further issues when we submit a bigger assignment. There's a 20% chance. So yeah, that is my point of view. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much for your point of view. And I also want to know the point of view of team member D. Then we will summarize our discussion.
Okay, so hi TJ, thanks for giving me the opportunity. So I would like to state that Casey has definitely should definitely be held accountable for his actions. So plagiarism is a serious academic misconduct, and it will not only affect his grades, but it can also affect our grades and can uh, give F grade to the whole group. So I think his actions can lead us the strict penalties and can damage the integrity of the work which he has submitted. But I also believe that the issue is not just his individual failure, but it also reflects the gaps in how we functioned as a team or as a group. So first of all, I think we definitely had lack of communication. The communication was kind of poor. So there was no consistent or transparent communication among all the members. So everyone was not equally aware of the progress and the content of the project which we are doing. And we definitely had lack of coordination. The team was not synchronized, and the tasks were not properly aligned, and our roles and responsibilities were also unclear. There was an absence of the peer review, so everyone was doing their own part, and we are not checking each other's work. So I think we should incorporate peer review so that everyone can see each other's work and give their meaningful feedback. And there was definitely poor planning and time management. So we as a team should have completed our project 2 to 3 days and should have not waited for the last day of the deadline. So this was the thing which I should think that should be done properly, and everyone should be equally involved. So yeah, although I think that Casey's act needs some strict uh, 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 it's a serious concern, and we should have had strict guidelines beforehand, so this situation would not have occurred if we had strict rules and everyone had knew their proper roles and what were the expectations from everyone. So I think he is totally responsible for this, but at the same time I also think that this situation highlights the need for the better teamwork, better communication, proper review mechanism, and a better coordination system so that this issue can be prevented in the future. That's my point. Thanks for the opportunity again.
Thank you everyone for your thoughtful perspective. Personally, I was concerned because the COVID material could have caused every group member to face academic consequences despite only one member creating the problem. I agree the correcting assignment immediately it is essential. However, I also believe we cannot ignore the repetitive pattern that group member A and B mentioned, and also I agree with you C and D member C and D that there is a communication gap between the teams, and proper planning and workflow and role management also not working good. So we will work on that. Our group should stabilize clear standards, original work, proper citation, internal deadlines, and peer review before submission. Few the approach protect both academic integrity and team relationship. Based on the today's discussion, we are agree with that we are giving another chance to Casey to prove themselves and do not repeat again that he already apologized for their mistakes. Apart from that, Casey should also receive a constructive feedback what he is doing, and we will stabilize the communication between to Casey so he don't do the mistake again. If the plagiarism despite continue despite this measure, the issue should be reported to the instructor to protect the integrity of the group. academic honesty and accountability are shared responsibility, and all members should verify the final submission before it's submitted. And thank you. And I would like to get some advice from our advisor, Lisa.
Yeah, thanks, TJ. So thank you everyone for your valuable participants. And although each had their opinions and perspective on the cases situation, so we can all agree and on that like plagiarism is a serious issue. So yeah, everyone have a different perspective. So as a group, we can to conclude or we believe Casey should give opportunity to understand the mistake the mistake he can correct by if we give him a chance. So for the future assignments, we can implement a peer review process ensuring the proper the citation of the project. So one peer can review the other's work. So in this way, the plagiarism can be reduced. So yeah, if similar incidents happens again, so it can be or it should be reported to the profession. So overall, this approach I think promotes fairness, accountability, and effective teamwork. So yeah, thank you all. I wish you successful for the future assignments. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. So we are going to give another opportunity to Casey, and also the current assignment must be revised to remove any plagiarism material and in- include proper citation. If you have anything, if you have any doubt, please feel free to share. Like, are you agree with the giving an opportunity to Casey again?
Yes, I think you can all come on the same conclusion. So everybody deserve a chance. If they are willing to improve, and if it's happen again, you can all happily report him to the professor. Yeah, and everyone's also can share their perspective. Yeah, we can agree or not.
So all you guys agree?
Yes,
Yes,
I
I
think we
agree
yes.
completely by Rishabh bhai. So if give one chance, it is a learning part. So one first time warn and second time don't tolerate it if repeat the same work. So plagiarism and explain clearly why plagiarism take seriously. So again repetitive, then take action. If a one time mistake, then it is learn from mistake and go ahead and don't affect the final assignment. So give a one chance for to learn from your mistake.
So we reached the conclusion of giving in another opportunity to Casey and improve their work and do not repeat the same thing again. So I'd like to know all member A, B, C, D's their opinion about their decision.
Okay, let's start with the group B. I mean member B.
I come up with the point I believe that mistakes can become valuable learning experience, and if we correct them sincerely, then by maintaining honesty, clear communication, and teamwork, and responsible academic practice. So we can prevent plagiarism and achieve better results together. And we can also use the plagiarism checker if we need. And so I am okay with the advisor, we should give him a fair chance so that he can he can come up with a new energy and also with valuable work.
Okay, so passing on the member B. I mean member C.
Yeah, so again, concluding, again, reiterating what I strongly believe is that as it is a 5% component, it is not a big deal. Even though Casey has made a mistake, I feel that he did a fine job, and we can, again, we can have mechanisms within the team where we can focus on each other's reviews, focus on each other's work, and if it is highlighted again that someone has lacked somewhere, the other person can work hard upon it. And so in the same manner we can in the same manner we can definitely make sure that our reports of our final submissions are done properly in a manner such that it is accepted to all. Thank you.
Okay, member D.
Yeah, so I think the first time Casey has done plagiarism, but since TJ has given him the second chance, he still added few resources or sources where he had took the inspiration from, but he has not done his work properly. So I think this is his third chance, and this should be his last chance. And TJ should tell him strictly that if this behavior persists, uh, we will complain him to the instructor and he can be debarred from our team. So we should strictly tell him about that this behavior should not be continued. So that's my opinion. We should give him just one more chance and should not entertain such behavior more than that. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, TJ, you want to
Thank you.
add and end the
Yeah.
conversation?
Yeah, I'd like to add like we can't tolerate from anyone if the same thing happen from anyone. And this is the final chance for the cases to improve their work. If the same repetitive behavior we have seen again, then we will not tolerate and we will share the feedback to the professors.
Okay, so I think yeah, everyone come to the conclusions. So yeah, we should give a chance to Casey. So let's end this meeting. We all come to the conclusion. So giving the chance to the Casey. So that's it. Okay, so you all have a nice day. Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah,